long, do the boogie all night long. Stoned in paradise, shouldn't talk about it, shouldn't talk about it. Like this before, we don't talk about it, dancing along, we do the boogie all night long.
Good evening, everyone. We start the press conference after the match. Panathinaikos Superfoods first with the assessment of the coach and then questions. First, I would like to congratulate Real Madrid for the win on a match where they were better, especially in the second half. I believe we have two things that are unacceptable. So the beginning of the match, at the beginning of the third quarter, that we lost all opportunities to win, especially after the beginning of the match where we were able to get back into it. I believe the first 4 or 5 minutes we were not good, but after that we were quite good. We managed to control the rebound, which is always difficult here. We had our options to go to the break a bit on the upper side, but it was quite equal all the way to the half. And in the third quarter, we just wasted everything we did. We were back. We were 9-10 points behind. We were not able to play a good defense, and we deserve nothing better. Questions for the coach? As usual, please identify yourself and the company that you represent. Thank you. Marco Sanchez, Bahía Blanca. Good evening, coach. As it is a real possibility, how would you assess to play against Real Madrid in the playoffs? Well, there are 5 matches still, so there's a lot of things. It will be quite complex, but the most important thing for us is to be able to go back to the level we had before, the level we had all the way to the month of January. All teams have better and worse moments, but right now we are in a bad moment. Since February started, we were not able to find the way. As usual, we say that all teams have peaks and valleys, but right now we are not okay. We have to recover our level. If we go back to our level, I think we're a dangerous team for anyone. Another question over there in the back. Xavi, good evening. Pilar Casado, Carrera Cope. Are you angry, Xavi? Of course I am. We did not play at the level we can. Losing is within the possibilities when you come to Madrid, of course, especially with a team like this one, with a good coach. It's within the realm of possibilities, but not competing as we did on the second half, not being competitive and having 54 points against us. That's not acceptable for a team like ours, where especially we lost the mindset of the third quarter. As I've mentioned, we wasted everything we did on the previous 20 minutes. Okay? Thank you, coach.
next mistake. Love's a game, wanna play. New money, suit and tie. I can read you like a magazine. Ain't it funny? Rumors lie, and I know you heard about me. So hey, let's be friends. I'm dying to see how this one ends. Grab your passport and my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're reckless, we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
Good evening. We'll start with assessment from Pablo and then questions for the coach. Good evening first. Congratulate my team for the win. I think we had a pretty solid work for 40 minutes. The beginning was quite good. Then on the first quarter, we had a lot of problems on the rebound, not because they scored, but because we had the feeling that we were not controlling or we were not setting the pace we wanted on the second half. We improved that. And after being able to have the rebounds, we were able to control more, to run more, stop more. And I think that was key on the feeling of having the game controlled. I'm happy for the win. I think we had a pretty good job, a very good defensive job against a team that is difficult with a lot of shots and a lot of shooters. And there are 5 more matches. We're still fighting to be on the playoffs from the EuroLeague. And we know we have difficult matches ahead and we have to keep on working if we want to get that position. Okay, questions over there? Noemi Fernandez, Real Madrid Live. Pablo, good evening. Congratulations. It has happened on the previous season as well. On one day, one was the highlighted one. Another day was another one, but you had an injured today, Luka Doncic, and that was important. Is it still the best that you depend on no one? Well, I think it was not a season to be able to depend on anyone specifically. We had quite a complicated year with players going in and out, which is not something a coach wants. But in that sense, I always talk quite well about all my players. They all have a very good mindset. They were able to keep on working in difficult moments. And in that sense, I'm quite happy of having the feeling that we are a team. That's the thing is most important for me as a coach. It's logical that you ask about Fabian. He played a great match for the Fenerbahce. The first half of Fabian was very good, but he was not as bright. But today he did, and in general they all play quite good. Pablo Pilar Casado, Carena Cope. I would like to ask about Luka. Do you already know what's wrong with him? We do. On Tuesday, he had a bit of a strain on the femoral biceps. On Tuesday, we already saw that he was injured. Yesterday, there were some tests just to discard there was something a lot more serious, or if it was just a break. It's not a serious injury, but it's true that there's a small break and he's going to be out for a few days. It's calculated, we would say that 10 days, but I don't like to close days because it's quite a daily evolution. Although right now I would say that Sunday in Barcelona he's not going to play, and Tuesday in Milan he's not going to play either. That's the things they kind of sure, right? Hello, Pablo. Good evening. Manuel de la Torre from Diario AS. I'd like to ask about Facu Campazzo, bearing in mind that Luka Doncic is not playing. He played a wonderful match, and he's going to be a very important player for you. But I don't know if he been together with a Rundle, the whole pure guard. Are you allowed him to rest him or not, bearing in mind the Classico for Sunday? Well, Sunday I have Barca and Tuesday I have Milan. So I don't know how you see the rotation thing. I don't see it clearly. He is a player that is not going to be very important. He's been very important for the whole season. He's doing a very good job. And I believe that today, the minutes where Jason was, he was quite well. He was playing quite well. He handled the team well. He played calm in a situation that is not easy for him, first few years in Europe on a big team. So in that sense, I'm calm, knowing that, as I always say, it's not a situation of a single position, because you can be better or worse, more or less injured, but at the end of the day, everyone has to take other responsibilities, do other things from defensive and a defensive point of view, and in that sense, I believe the team works quite well. Good evening, Pablo. Faustino from LPs. I'd like to ask if steps forward, like Alcacer, can be said, or is just about an attitude and a feeling during the match? I believe that today, for instance, Fabian in the first half was not very well, to be honest. He scored 2 or 3, he missed a free shot defensively. He was suffering, but then he grew throughout the match, and we saw that the match could be for him more than for Jay-Z. They were quite focused on Jay-Z's defense, and it was difficult to find shooting positions, but Fabian was able to find not only their shots, but also the feeling of play for the team. As I always say, there's a bit the strength of the team that you keep on finding, let's say, different systems that makes you better. If I have to say, the best play from Fabian did not score, and he got a Jan or Felipe right down there. So sometimes I'm proud that the players learn that, and Fabian could have said that I take it, I should, because I'm scoring everything, but Fabian plays basketball very good, and sometimes numbers, you quite often ask about players who have numbers, like Taylor was key today in the defense. And it's true that Fabian is normal this first year, and he improves little by little, but he's been contributing a lot throughout the season. From Bernabeu.com, you were talking about Luka. I would like to ask about Felipe as well. He had some bombs. How did he finish? And about the continuity, the only one inside that played the whole season, could it be a problem from the physical point of view? I think Felipe is having quite a good season from my point of view. He started the season and he rested over summer. Of course, it was difficult to get the pace. He got it little by little, and with the injuries from Gustavo, Randolph, and trade problems, we sort of overexploited Felipe playing 5. He played very good matches. He was quite solid. And I believe in a given moment that overexploitation regarding minutes and effort might have been a problem. But I'm not worried, because I see Felipe every day and I know he's going to recover. And the fact that we're recovering players is good for him as well, to maintain the energy and intensity in the minutes he plays. That's something I defended always regarding Felipe. What he does in the time he does it, that's something I value a lot. And he knows Ayon, they know how to play together. So I'm quite respectful about what Felipe contributes to the team, because he proves it every day, of course. Last question on the back. Oh, just a bomb, yeah. We thought about changing him, and he was okay, and he played in the second half, and I didn't ask. Maybe tomorrow he's something, but I don't have the feeling that Felipe is going to be injured, but let's see, because there's only a few days. But also he was okay. I can tell you something more tomorrow or Saturday before the match. I don't think it's going to be important. Pablo, something at the end of the match, 92-75, 11 seconds away, so you celebrate Tavares like if he was winning, and it was just a block. And Xavi said he was very angry. Are you very happy? I am very happy. I don't think we had a tremendous match. We were not brilliant, but I'm very happy about how the team worked. We understood it was a match where we had very few mistakes, very few. On some days you can be brilliant, but today defensively the team was magnificent. I think we had a very good defense with, of course, I'm sure a mistake. I remember some. I'm not going to tell you, but in general, very good defense. And from defensive point of view, I believe we were quite intelligent when we were reading the situations Panathinaikos was putting before us. That's what I'm happy about, and especially in the last situation for maybe, because he's happy blocking, and that's normal, and he was happy about it. So I'm happy for him and the reaction from the team and the whole match. Okay, thank you.